If you're looking to spend about $1 million on a home in Frisco or Prosper right now, the difference in what you get might just surprise you, because two homes at exactly the same price can feel completely different depending upon where and how you buy. So in this video, I'm going to be walking you through 5 actual homes, both new construction and resale, in both Frisco and Prosper, so you can actually see what the different homes at that price point look like right now, and more importantly, how you should be thinking about it. Because the reality is there isn't just one $1 million home in the market. You've got new construction versus resale, you've got Frisco versus Prosper, and even within that, there's several different trade-offs. But by the end of this video, you are going to have a much clearer idea of which one actually makes the most sense for you. So let's start with a new construction home here in Frisco. Right away, you're going to notice the lighter exterior, which is typical on the newer homes these days. Stepping inside, it's all about light and open, which is what buyers are expecting in today's market. You've got floor plans that flow together, the kitchen, the dining, the living room, so it feels bigger and more connected. Tall ceilings and natural light make the space feel even bigger. The primary baths have larger walk-in showers and a more modern layout overall. And this is what I'd call a pretty typical lot size, enough space to actually use without feeling oversized. So overall, that home is pretty representative of what you're getting with new construction in Frisco. A great design, very open, very updated obviously, and about 3,500 square feet. Now, by the way, if you're looking to buy or you're thinking about buying or selling in Frisco or Prosper, in the description below, you're going to find a link to my calendar where you can schedule a free 30-minute consultation call. Now, as home prices have gone up, one of the biggest changes we've seen from the builders is that they've had to adjust the lot sizes in order to keep the homes within reach of buyers. So this next home is a great example of that shift. So from the front, it still checks the boxes: light brick, clean design, and a very current look. And inside, you're still getting the same feel. You've got light floors, open sight lines, and it's very clean. And even on a narrower lot, the layout still feels open and connected. Notice you've still got the tall ceilings, lots of natural light, and a space that feels comfortable and functional. Good size, clean finishes, very much what buyers expect in new construction today. The primary bath is updated, modern, and well laid out. But here's where the difference shows: smaller lot, less outdoor space, and that's really the trade-off. So when you look at these first two homes, you're going to notice that inside, they're actually very similar. You've got open layouts, you've got similar types of finishes, different cabinet colors, but the same overall feel. Where things really start to change is the lot. The first home gave you, well, more breathing room. It's a wider lot, it's a little bit more of a usable backyard. This last home we just looked at, you're on a 40-foot lot with a rear entry garage. So the outdoor space is going to be more limited, although that builder did a great job of including that additional side patio. But in general, this is the big trade-off that we're seeing in Frisco right now. The builders are keeping homes looking and feeling the same overall inside, but in a narrower floor plan, if you like, but because they're having to adjust that lot size in order to keep the prices somewhat more manageable. So it's really going to come down to this: do you value having the extra outdoor living space, or are you okay with trading that for a newer home on a smaller lot at a similar price point? All right, so now that we've seen what a couple of different new construction homes are like in Frisco, let's take a look at what you can get in Prosper for the same price point. Now right away, you're going to notice a similar style, but this home is substantially larger at about 4,300 square feet. Inside, a lot of the same design trends: open layout, light finishes, quartz countertops. But the scale starts to stand out: higher ceilings, more volume, and a more expansive feel. That even carries through to the primary suite: more space, more separation, more flexibility. All of the finishes here are very comparable. It's not necessarily upgraded more, you've just got more of it. And as you step outside, you'll see a similar setup, a covered patio and functional outdoor space. But again, it's just a bit more room overall compared to what we typically see in Frisco. So this is where your decision really starts to shift a little bit, because now you're looking at a home that's got roughly 700 to 800 square feet more with a similar level of finish. Now granted, it is going to depend on the neighborhood, right? So the different communities are going to have different price points, but this is just giving you a rough guide. But remember, it's not all just about the house. What you're really deciding between is location versus space. In Frisco, you're typically going to be a little bit closer. It's a more established community. You've got a lot more amenities, a lot more entertainment options. It's more built out overall. Whereas in Prosper, you're often getting a little bit more home for your money, but you are a little bit further out and a little bit further along, or a little bit further away from some of those everyday conveniences. All right, so now we're going to shift gears just a little bit. We've looked at new construction both in Frisco and Prosper. Now let's take a look at what a resale home in Frisco looks like in that exact same price range. Now right away, this just feels different. It's more established, more mature landscaping, a larger lot. As you walk in, you're going to notice a more traditional layout, defined spaces instead of being wide open. Ceilings are still tall, but the rooms are a little bit more segmented, which some people actually prefer. The kitchen is still spacious and functional, but you'll notice warmer tones and more traditional finishes. Same idea in the primary bedroom. Great size, but a more classic feel compared to new construction. And again, very functional, just not as modern in terms of layout and design. Now this is where the home really stands out, the lot size. More space, more privacy, mature trees. This is something you typically don't get with new construction. So this is where things start to get interesting, because now you're not just choosing between Frisco and Prosper, you're actually choosing between new and established. With resale homes like this in Frisco, you're typically getting larger lots, mature landscaping, and also more traditional layouts. The floor plan is not going to be as modern. It's not going to be as open concept feel. You're not going to have all of the newest colors and finishes, but for some people, that's actually a better option. All right, so we've looked at brand new homes and we've looked at a more traditional resale home, but there's actually a third option that a lot of people don't always consider. And in many cases, it ends up being, well, the best of both worlds. Because when you think about it, a lot of buyers, they're not just saying, well, I have to have new no matter what, or I'm only going to look at resale. They're really looking at what works best for them overall. What they really want is something in between, something that feels updated but still gives them space and segmentation, a layout that actually works for how they live. And that's exactly where a home like this next one fits. From the outside, this home leans towards more traditional resale look, which for a lot of buyers is actually part of the appeal. As you walk in, it immediately feels lighter and more updated than a traditional resale home. But the layout still has a little more structure to it. It's not quite as open as what you see in brand new homes. Now this kitchen has been completely updated, lighter finishes, a clean look. Visually, it's really closer to new construction. So you're actually getting that updated feel without completely losing defined spaces. That carries into the primary bedroom. Updated, comfortable, but a still more traditional layout. Clean, functional, refreshed, but not trying to be ultra modern. And then once again, you step outside and you get what a lot of buyers really want, more space. All right, so now the question becomes, which one actually makes the most sense for you? And the answer really comes down to what it is that you value most. If your priority is having everything new, the most efficient, completely modern, wide open, then new construction and only new construction is probably going to be the best fit. But if your priority is space, a larger lot, you like that more established neighborhood with mature landscaping, mature trees, then a traditional resale home might make the most sense. But quite often you can find yourself torn. You're somewhere in between. You want something that feels updated. You don't want to give up on all of that space, but you still want a layout that's got a little bit of, well, some traditional values to it. In that case, something like the last home that we just went through could make the most sense. A hybrid option, if you like, that may end up being your sweet spot. And this is where I see a lot of people get stuck, because it's not just about picking a home. It's about making sure you're making the right decision financially and you're timing it in the right way. So if you find yourself trying to figure all of that out, should you be looking at new construction? Does resale make the most sense for you right now? Or is that in-between option something that you should even consider? Then I would be more than happy to walk it all through with you. We can look at your situation, what you're trying to accomplish, and map out the best approach for you based upon today's market. In the description below, you're going to find that link to my calendar where you can schedule a free 30-minute consultation call where we go through all of those different options and I help you make the decision that's best for you and your family. So hopefully you found value in this video today. If you did, I invite you to give me the thumbs up, subscribe to this channel so you're always updated when I release a new video, and make sure you don't go anywhere because I know the next video coming up you're gonna like as well.